Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to A.O.S Abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining. Really do appreciate. And today we are going to be having another insightful, entertaining, and educating session. And this session, for those that have actually been seeing it, it's centered on business, foreign jobs or international jobs, international languages, and immigration. Now, this is something that I think it all sums up the stages that I went through when it comes to actually moving to Canada. So, in the last session, in the last discussion, when I was talking to some of you on the live session we had, I think it was still this week around the last live session, basically, probably. That last live session, we were talking about caregiving, we were talking about how to get jobs, we were talking about the changes, or let me say the updates towards the new caregiver program in Canada. But someone actually asked, or I think that was Abimbola also on the session. She said that we should talk about business in the next live session. And it dawned on me that I've been talking so much about immigration. I've not really talked about um, business abroad and how you can actually basically fund your move abroad. Because again, just like I said earlier, that's what I did. And some people may be asking, how can they actually go about the same thing I did? So today, I'm going to be talking about the concept of immigration as it regards to you working on your immigration. You understand? You working on your immigration in terms of focusing on language studies, focusing on exam preparation, and also earning money. Do you understand? In form of setting up businesses or at least getting jobs virtually or physically in order to help you to work on your immigration. So without wasting much time, let's really dive into what we have for today. You know, um, many people have different concepts when it comes to business. They have different concepts when it comes to getting jobs. And the preconceived notion is that if you want to get jobs or if you want to work, you have to get jobs physically. You have to do something physical. You have to go to an office, and once you get to an office, work for maybe like 8 hours a day, and at the end of that particular time, maybe like at the end of 9 to 5 p.m., you go back home and you continue the circle over and over again. Now, when it comes to what we are going to be discussing today, business, foreign jobs, language, and immigration, I may not really be focusing on that aspect of getting jobs or that aspect of working, you understand, um, whether in your home country or working abroad, because things have changed, especially post COVID, post pandemic times. I remember when I was in Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria, around the University of Ilorin, where I set up my own business. I had what do you call it, an academy. I had a place whereby I was teaching people languages. I was preparing people for exam preparation, and even, you understand, organizing physical seminars for people that want to learn how to actually migrate to Canada. So we were doing that at Tipa Garage Tanke Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. But when pandemic struck, when there was an issue with um, the economy globally, when we had lockdowns, many people didn't actually come to the academy again because, of course, there was lockdown. They were not allowing people to move. Basically, trade stopped. The physical trades we know about, it stopped. And at the end of the day, a lot of businesses have to grapple, including mine. We had to grapple with the fact that people couldn't come physically to attend classes. We had to struggle with the fact that we couldn't even have our coaches to come to the academy physically to teach, you understand, or to come for work. And sometimes people always see the adversities when it comes to things like this, when it comes to changes that are drastic that they didn't expect. But I've learned something over the years, and these are the things that I feel every one of us should not just only go through, but we should learn through the process. What am I saying? I'm saying that, oh, Funny Bunny 3659, thank you very much for liking our live on TikTok. Really appreciate that. Now we learn through the process as I'm talking. Canada itself, the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, they also learned from the process of the pandemic, the lockdown, and that is why a lot of things that they are doing now, they are what they are actually doing them online. Thank you, Funny Bunny 369. I see you wrote dual citizenship, and you actually sent me a rose on TikTok. Thank you, I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. Now, moving on, we said when it comes to the idea of lockdown, Canada was affected too because they were not able to bring in people as they used to bring in people. And as a result of that, people were not able to work on their applications. Many things went down. And in this particular time, I was affected. Do you understand? I was affected because in my own time, 2018 was when I started work on immigration, Canada immigration. But I wasn't able to do anything. You understand? 2020 was the lockdown, and a lot of us were struck unknowingly. Okay, Funny Bunny is saying, born in the US, Minneapolis, moved up in 1990. Wow, that's good. That's a long time. That's a long time from now. I moved to Canada. I moved to Canada 2023, and that is very, 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 very early, or how would I call it, very, very close to you now. Like for you moving 1990, then you have really, really you have you have been a citizen. And maybe that's why you said dual citizenship. You have been a citizen of Canada for a long time than we are just coming in. Now, what am I saying in essence? Okay, I knew every answer when the judge quizzed me. Oh, do you mean when they were still doing citizenship by you going to a law court or the court of law to actually get to? Or are you talking about the US citizenship or the Canadian citizenship? Okay, Canadian history major. Wow, that's good. That's good. So you studied the Canadian history in school. Wow, that's wonderful. Now, what am I saying in essence? What we are saying is when it comes to immigration, when it comes to traveling abroad, you have to understand the changes that are coming or the changes that are evident. I was talking about my own scenario when it came to what do you call it, the lockdown 2020. It affected us because we weren't able to work on our own immigration. But there is always benefit, or there is always a kind of how would I call it? There is always a kind of positive side to every negative thing that happened. Oh, okay. Funny Bunny is also saying no. Before you can get Canadian citizenship, you must pass a verbal test. Oh, okay. Of course, that's cool. Now, the citizenship test, a lot of people do it. You're right on that. Now, when it comes to you coming into Canada, you migrating into Canada, you have to understand that changes will happen. One of the changes that we have talked about in this live session was even the change of the Minister of Immigration. The Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, has been. You understand, there have been a change from Mark Miller, who was the previous one from last year to early this year, to what? To Rachel Bendayon. Now, similarly, when it comes to you working on your own immigration, when it comes to you understand, applying for a particular program, you have to understand that things will change. And many times, in line with eligibility criteria changing, in line with program changing, in line with them closing one pilot program and opening another pilot program, many times the cost attached to many of these programs would also change. You understand? Recently, someone informed me that yes, the proof of funds have increased. That was it's not even now. You understand? That has been late last year. Do you understand? The proof of funds have changed. So if you have been focusing or you have been gathering your funds for the previous proof of funds and you just have that, this year you are not going to be eligible for, you understand, applying for permanent residence if you don't have the current proof of funds, which has been increased based on the what? Based on the living expenses that you can actually expect to, you understand, to see in Canada when you finally land. Now, what am I saying in essence? What I'm saying in essence is that there will be changes of eligibility criteria for programs. Sometimes there will be changes as regards the proof of funds that you will need to actually use to you understand, immigrate to Canada. Likewise, there would also be changes towards what? Towards how you become eligible for a certain program. Do you understand? So you have to understand that in all these changes, many times, if you are not well prepared to adapt to those changes, you find out that sooner or later you are not going to be eligible, or you won't be able to actually fulfill your goal of coming into Canada. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, that begs the question that how can you become or continue being eligible for a program? One. Two, how can you actually fund your own immigration? Because many people always say they don't have money, they are looking for sponsorship. Even the new caregiver programs, some people are really looking for sponsorship for or through the employers that are going to give them jobs. And we are telling people now that the LMIA, the Labor Market Impact Assessment, is not needed for you to actually what? For you to get a job in Canada right now for caregiver program, just like IRCC stated on its website. So you may not need to what? You may not need to actually get an employer that will sponsor you. Yes, they can give you their job offer, they can give you their contract, but they are not going to pay to the ESDC, to the employment agency, to actually help with your what? To help with your job offer. So if you look at that, that's a change in the positive side, because people are not going to be spending to actually employ you. But to get jobs may be difficult. And that's why I always tell people. I remember in the last session where someone was asking me how to get jobs. You understand that they have been applying to jobs, they have been trying to actually get selected for immigration, but it has not actually been forthcoming. And I said, I remember during my time, I was not willing to wait on the process of seeking jobs, because seeking jobs during my time required job sponsorship, and many employers didn't want to sponsor people. Do you understand? And the few that want to sponsor, there are a lot of people that are even more qualified for the job than I was. So what did I have to do? You understand? Because of course I told you many people were looking for physical jobs, and physical jobs were the one that required sponsorships. But I didn't just want to focus on something that may be too far to reach. I wanted to focus on something that I can actually control. And that was what led me to, first of all, because I had set up a business in Nigeria, to continue my business. I didn't stop my business, you understand? But instead of focusing on it physically or doing it physically, I had to go virtually. Do you understand? I had to go virtual. I had to go online. Since we had started working on our website, we had an online school. We were not just looking at doing it physically again. We wanted to focus on doing it online. And that's one of the things, or one of the reasons why I wrote my book, Funding Your Move Abroad. And for those that are on YouTube, I know many of you know that when we're having lives like this, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, and we're on YouTube. Just like I'm showing those on YouTube, um, one of my best-selling books on Amazon right now is Funding Your Move Abroad. And in that book, I explained in details how I was able to actually set up my own practice or set up my own business online through the use of, you understand, various virtual platforms. Now, but that's not only the thing that was mentioned in the book. In the book Funding Your Move Abroad, if you look at even the subtitle of the book states how to plan well. So if you want to come into Canada, how would you plan well to become eligible for a program? How would you plan well to make sure that what you are expecting in Canada is similar to what you finally see when you land in Canada? That is one of the things that we talked about in the book. Also, we also talked about in the book how to make money. If you are someone that you are looking for sponsorship, if you are someone that you are looking for another person to help you out, you understand, in your immigration, yes, you can see people to help you out, no doubt. But the ratio of people willing to help you for your immigration for free, even though most times there's nothing for free, but for you to see someone that would help you, it may take so much time or so much hassle or so much, you understand, things that you may not be willing to give. So in that instance, in the book Funding Your Move Abroad, you understand, I talked extensively about how you yourself can make money online. And in the book, I remember I talked about 33 different ways that I myself I used to actually work on immigration. How I myself I used to make money online. Do you understand? To assist me to migrate successfully to Canada. And these are things that if you are very industrial, or if you are very curious, if you are very innovative, you can also do yourself. Do you understand? And I will talk about some ways that you yourself can actually use to make money online. Some people don't know that. You understand, the things you are finding difficult to do, or the things you are currently working on towards your immigration, can be a source of income, can be a source of fund for you if you know how to actually work on it. And I will give you instances of that. Now, in the book Funding Your Move Abroad, I also talked about languages. I talked about getting jobs. There's one person that I do follow. All he does is actually train people, teach people how to actually get jobs. So if you have been successful, for instance, in getting jobs, and sometimes people always focus on just physical jobs, as I said. There are some ways that you can get virtual jobs. I've gotten jobs from Canada, from US, from UK. Do you understand? Even whilst I was in Nigeria. And these are ways there are ways you also can actually get jobs. It's not something new, but some people focusing on just physical jobs may not allow you to quickly get those jobs. In the last live session, I explained how some people are actually getting caregiver jobs, how some people are getting to first of all volunteer first. Basically, once you volunteer and they see that, okay, this person, even though this person is not in Canada, this person is basically volunteering in our home care, you understand, in our home care facility. And maybe the person is training people how to take care of their old ones through their blog articles or through their website. You show that you are willing to not just get them to sponsor you, but you are willing to do something that the other people that are also applying for a particular job are not willing to do right now. And as a result of that, once you are volunteering, you have done something for an organization for 1 month or 2 months, and they see that, oh, for this person to be doing something for free, you understand, initially online, then definitely if we actually sponsor this person, if we assist, if we support that person to come into Canada, then that person can be useful to our organization. Because I told you that in a business, what exactly does someone that set up a business is willing to achieve? The person is willing to make more money. Of course, nobody wants to lose money, especially in business. Two, the person is willing to save money. So if you can save the person money by you volunteering and doing things for that person online without you, yes, you're in Nigeria, of course, I understand. And you are just looking to immigrate to Canada, but you are just looking at it based on what you want to benefit. You are not looking at it based on what a business is willing to benefit from you. So if you shift your mindset, to seeing, you understand, your immigration as a kind of avenue to actually help someone else, then you can easily get what you are looking for. Do you understand? So in the last live session, I was talking about how you can first of all reach out to people on LinkedIn, reach out to businesses on LinkedIn, you understand, and see how you can volunteer. Yes, you want to come to Canada. Yes, you want them to support you. You want them to give you job offer. You want them to actually give you a contract. But don't just look at it in a way that you are just wanting to get something. Rather, look at it as a way that you are willing to give something to a company. You understand? Maybe for a month or two, before you now ask for something in return. It may be much more easier for them to be willing to give you that thing once they have seen that they have tested you, you have delivered on something, and you are willing to work for free. And as a result of that, they will know that for someone being willing to work for free, then that person will go the extra mile when we finally actually employ that person to our own organization to serve as a caregiver. So in line with that, all what I'm trying to say is, just like I explained in the book, Funding Your Move Abroad, as I talked about, you can search for that book. I wrote the book. You can search for the book on Amazon. Do you understand? Or just even search on it on Google. It's also on Google. Once you search on it, Funding Your Move Abroad, you'll be able to see, you understand, that book. Now, Shadel, thank you very much for liking my live on TikTok. So in the book, I also explained how you can actually send messages, simple custom messages to employers, to talk about the skills you have. Now, don't talk about, because there are some ways people miss out on these crucial ideas. They miss out on it by just doing things generically, doing things that other people that are also applying for jobs will do. No, don't do it that way. Be intentional on how you, just a simple conversation, starting a simple conversation with someone in a company that you want to work for, you understand, can actually help a great deal. Don't first of all start talking about, oh, I want to get this job, can you assist me, can you, no. Rather, be intentional in building relationships first. Be intentional in build. I'm not talking about romantic relationship. You understand? I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about cordial relationships. Do you understand? Having a kind of friendly relationship with someone. Do you understand? Have that friend, build that relationship on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a platform that you can actually build relationships professionally. So the person will know that yes, this person is trying to build something professionally. So build a relationship with someone that is in a company that you want to work for online, especially if the person is in countries like Canada, UK, US. Build that relationship and try to see how you can use that person, the link of that person, to get, if the person of course is not the CEO, or you understand, working in the HR, in the human resource department, you can use that person to link to the HR department, or link to, you understand, the CEO of that company, and talk to the person in a way that you just want to volunteer, in a way that, oh, you just inform the person. And of course, we have given you several blueprints on that, in that book, Funding Your Move Abroad. You can actually go on Amazon, as I've said again, to get that book. We have given you blueprints on how to actually converse with people on LinkedIn, how to converse with people on social media. Yes, you have it at the back of your mind that you still want to get a job offer, but you would tactically talk to that person in a way that the person will feel that yes, you have something to actually deliver. You have, you understand, you are a professional in what you do, and you are willing to give something for free to actually get something later on in return that even be better, that will pay for that, even for that free thing that you are giving, that volunteerism that you are giving. It will, the opportunity that that person will finally give you or will provide for you would later on pay for that free thing you did. And that's how me I do things. You understand? When it comes to business, for instance, as I said in Nigeria, before even coming to Canada, I had a business. I was running my businesses. Do you understand? And in the language aspect of my business, when it came to actually taking classes, the first things the first thing I did, you understand, was to run webinars, seminars, physical seminars. I would, you understand, invite people to come to our academy for free, talk to them about immigration, talk to them about what they could actually benefit by moving to Canada, talk to them about the advantages of having language, what they call it, results, language test results. And when they now see that yes, this thing is, you understand, needed, we can even do like a free class, or get them to actually watch one pre-recorded webinar where I explained the differences between IELTS, CELPIP that time, the differences between TEF Canada and TCF Canada. I remember even on my website, aosacademy.com, I remember there are different free online courses that I had actually created on that website, and people can actually take those free online courses. Like if they want to take IELTS training, there's a free online course on A.O.S Academy for that, osacademy.com for that. If they want to take CELPIP training, there's a free online course that they could actually first of all take to learn about CELPIP, to learn about what they need to know in the exam before they can now decide if they are willing to take the paid version of the online course. So just as a business is always looking for a way to attract customers, just like a way a business is always looking for a free way to attract clients, you too, as a job seeker, if your way, if you want to choose to actually get jobs, if you want to choose to, you understand, to be seeking for jobs, to be a job seeker, no problem. First of all, think yourself of it, because everybody, we're a brand, especially in another book that I wrote. You understand? Multi-influence. For those who actually follow me on Amazon, you understand? I have published that book this January 2025, Multi-influence. How to actually use your own brand to attract, you understand, to attract what you want. On LinkedIn, for instance, in the last live session, I talked about how I am always getting jobs. In fact, one of the jobs that I'm currently doing right now, I got it from someone that I met on LinkedIn. Do you understand? And people don't know that you can get some gigs, you can get some jobs by just actually making use of your connections, your networks on social media. And it always depends, of course, about what you are posting on social media, because some people will be posting jargons rubbish on social media. At the end of the day, what you post, because a company would want to employ you once they see the part of the job you want to do, once they see it on your social media. Let me give you an instance. You want to apply as a caregiver, and on your social media, on your LinkedIn, on your what do you call it, on your Facebook, on your Instagram, they see that you are beating a child or you are doing, this violence that they always do, that they say violence, they will kick it. All these normal jargons, set of skits that people always do. Do you understand? You are a caregiver, and or you are not even the one doing it, but you are posting something that is related to violence against children. You are posting it on your social media platform. A company that sees that, and you apply to that company to actually work as a caregiver, will not be willing to employ you, because they have seen that this one, for this kind of person promoting child abuse, hope that person will not come and actually abuse the child or the adult that the person is meant to take care of in our facility. So, in essence, what we are trying to say is show the part that you want people to know about you professionally on your social media. Do you understand? So I was saying, just like a business, like my own business, I gave you instance of giving something for free, like a kind of testing. Just like sometimes I remember you can go to McDonald's, you can go to, you understand, Mary Brown's and all those places, and sometimes they'll just tell you that, okay, you should come and taste something, you understand, see if you like it. Sometimes when you are walking, you understand, in front of a mall, you can see one business just giving you something to actually have a taste of, so that once you taste it, if you like it, you can now decide if you want to buy it or not. Thank you very much, Adele. I see a lot of your likes. Really appreciate that. So similarly, if you are a job seeker, don't just be always wanting employment, wanting a contract, wanting for them to give you a job offer. No, rather look at what you can give for free to a company first. Do you understand? And of course, we have talked about, in fact, in the book Funding Your Move Abroad, I remember I talked about 16 different ways. 16 different ways you can actually give something free. And this is just one of the 16 ways I'm talking about. There are different ways, different ideas. In fact, on my business email address, admin@aosacademy.com, a lot of people always share things for me that, can I let me give you a free report of your website, let me give you a free analysis of your YouTube channel, and I can help you actually build. You understand? If you look at that, even YouTube marketers, them too, they are marketing themselves to businesses that they feel they can actually assist, that they feel they can work with. You understand? A free analysis, a free report of, okay, what you are doing well in your YouTube channel and what you need to improve. So if you look at that person, of course, the person owns a business, but the person is self-employed, the person is a freelancer trying to actually get a job, trying to get a gig. You understand? But people don't have, especially when they are job seekers, they don't always have the mindset of a business person. And even if you are looking for jobs now, in the era we are now, where there are hundreds of applicants eligible for that position, where there are thousands of job seekers also eligible for that position, don't just do what the layman don't do what the average professional will do, to just send CV, send cover letter. Some people say they will just even send the same CV for 4 types of jobs. You won't get a job that way. You won't. Rather, be intentional about how you send your CV. And before you even send your CV, you may first of all build connections, build relationships with people in the company to show that you have something, you understand, to actually give, or to you have a substance. You have substance to provide that particular company. Do you understand? So again, in my book, Funding Your Move Abroad, as I said, you can always go on Amazon, you can go on LinkedIn, I said LinkedIn, on YouTube to actually search for the book and to get your own copy of the book. Do you understand? And of course, some people always ask that apart from the book, can we actually also train people or assist people to work on, if for instance you are searching for jobs? Yes, we can. And you can also go on our website, just like I've said, aosacademy.com, aosacademy.com. In that on that website, we have our online course, of course, that can train you for you understand, train you on how to actually do many of these things. And of course, if you want us to be involved, you understand, you can also sign up to our package where we would train you and we would assist you, we would work along with you to actually get many of these things started. I remembered in one of my live sessions, I also talked about the fact that there's one particular person right now that I'm working with, and he's still in Nigeria. He wants to immigrate to Canada, but he's still in Nigeria. Do you understand? He's still in Nigeria. He has not left the shores of Nigeria. In fact, he has not even applied. He's still gathering his documentations to come into Canada. And this person already has a business in Canada. Because some people will always be complaining, there are no jobs in Canada. You know, the last live session that I had again, someone was asking on the comment section that even people in Canada, they know that they're having problems with getting jobs. So how will someone that is outside of Canada even get job? And I said, yes, just like in everywhere. In Nigeria, for instance, there are some Nigerians that don't have jobs. I mean, and you will see someone from India or someone from China coming to that same Nigeria and getting job. Abi, or not even coming. Some of them may even already have jobs from a company that is an international conglomerate from China or from India, and they'll just send them to Nigeria to work. So similarly, if you are coming to Canada and you don't have what it takes, you will still not get that job. If you land in Canada today and you are just like the normal applicant, you may not get the job you want. So you have to understand that getting a job itself is a job itself. Getting a job is a job itself. So it is a job. You have to treat it as a job. Don't just treat it as a hobby. Don't just treat it as, anytime that I want, I'll apply. Or anyhow, let me just apply with my CV. No, it's not like Nigeria that anything goes. You understand? You have to actually follow some steps and strategies to get that job. Do you understand? Now, similarly, I was talking about the person that he is not even in Canada yet, but he has a business in Canada. Because, of course, for those that follow me on LinkedIn, you know, I'm an international business development consultant. I help people also create, you understand, and launch their businesses. Do you understand? Just like I'm also a published author on Amazon, I've also helped people similarly set up what they call it, their own Amazon online stores where they are selling books. Similarly, I've also assisted the person that I'm talking about to set up his own digital marketing agency in Canada, and he has started working with Canadians even without being in Canada. Now, this is one of the things that we always talk about, that you see, the world has gone beyond you just thinking one-sided. It has gone beyond Shoderu is laughing. It has gone beyond you just having a myopic view of life. If getting a physical job is not possible, then if you are, it's not compulsory because we don't always force people. If you are someone that you have started up a business in Nigeria, or you have not even started something in your own country, but you want to set up a business in Canada, it's very much possible. There are some immigrants that they cannot go through the normal express entry, the PMP, the caregiver. They don't have that time. Some people are setting up businesses in Canada. Some people are buying business, especially that is if you have tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars to set up a business or to buy a business. But again, the same principle applies. If you want to set up a physical business, you will spend tens of thousands at least of money. If you want to buy a physical business, you will also spend tens of thousands of dollars, at least 10 million naira in Nigerian naira. But again, I remember when I came into Canada in the year 2023, I set up my own business with $60. $60. That is roughly, as at then, it was like 50,000, 57,000 naira. As at then, that was what I used to set up my business, because of course it is an online business. And again, this is where the dichotomy comes in. If you want to be thinking just one-sided, you won't see the opportunities that are abound when it comes to you doing things. Someone reached out to me. Maybe I should even check that what they call it, discussion. The person reached out to me on Instagram. I think she was also watching, she was listening to our live session in the last live session I had, and she sent me a message after what they call it, after the live session. My what they call it, um my virtual assistant actually sent me that message, and she was saying, um good afternoon. So I would love to partner with you because I'm a hustler. I said, I'm thinking, what are the raw materials Canadian manufacturers need from Nigeria? We can source for them and send them to you while you act as a company who can supply them to Canadians. And another thing is, I have a spice product and a frozen snail company where I do make them. Please, sir, anything to do, because I'm a young single mother. I'm very smart, competent, and energetic in all angles. Please, businesses, tell us businesses that can put food on my table. I don't like begging, and I love to actually make money. Now, look at this. This person actually sent that message. And when my virtual assistant told me, I said, oh, that's nice. If she has, or if she could link up a simple search on Google or even on Instagram, because she sent the message on Instagram, a simple search on Instagram about exporters and importers in Canada or from Nigeria to Canada can actually give her some very good people she could partner with. I am not in the importing and exporting business, so I have to tell her that it's a nice business, it's a nice idea. In fact, there are a lot of people that we buy things from. Do you understand? In Nigeria right now, in Canada rather, right now, they started something similar from Nigeria, and they are making a lot of money. They are making a whole lot of money. I was able to tell her that, well, we don't do such businesses. A.O.S Abroad, we run online businesses, only online business, because I think I've learned from the pandemic era when COVID struck that if we don't have things online, in fact, once there's, God forbid, but if there's any other pandemic that will come that would lock down a lot of things and we're not making money online, we will suffer again. God will not make us suffer. So that's why me, I don't do anything physical. The first physical business that I did in Nigeria, that time when I was in Nigeria, was shoe and bag making. For those that know my history, shoe and bag making was what I started in Nigeria. But I was able to learn from the first business I started in Nigeria at Kwara State, University of Ilorin, because I started my first business when I was in 300 level at the university. And that business, because yes, I was the university scholar, I was the best graduating student in my program, you understand then. But I was someone that wanted to do more than that. I started quiz, but that one was not my way. I was not able to do quiz for a long time. So I went into business. I learned how to make shoes, I learned how to make bags, and from there I was actually earning a lot, because apart from the scholarships I was getting from Lagos State Scholarship Board and from University of Ilorin, because I was the best student, I was plowing those monies that I was getting. Apart from that, because I went to school basically for free, I didn't pay school fees. The government helped me for all those. You understand? But the many money that I was getting from making over 200,000 from Lagos State Scholarship Board per year and over 96,000 from University of Ilorin, I was using those monies to actually set up my business in University of Ilorin, Kwara State, Nigeria. And as at then, I had bought my industrial sewing machine. I had 2 sewing machines, the manual one. I had filing machine for shoes for those that know how to make shoes. You understand? I wanted to even get the stamping machine that will stamp my name, A.O.S. For those that know A.O.S That was the name of my business that time. A.O.S It's still on Instagram for those that are that would like to check it out. Even though I've stopped. Yes, I stopped the business. I sold that my, you understand, what do you call it? My machines. Then when I was to leave Ilorin Kwara State, I sold my machine. The ones that I couldn't sell, I gave things for free. You understand? And what am I trying to say in essence is that I have had my own fair share of physical businesses. And one thing I learned from that business, the shoemaking business and bag making business as at then, was that if you are not actively marketing yourself, and if you are focusing on just one market, you may find yourself to blame. I remember that time when I was doing my shoe and bag making, because I was a university scholar, you understand, it was easier for me to sell inside the university, especially when my colleagues, my friends, my course-mates were still in school. You understand? But when we were to finish after 400 level, everybody go for National Youth Service Corps. It was difficult to keep selling because I had not yet built my customer base outside of the University of Ilorin. You understand? So as a result of that, I was even struggling to come back, which I finally succeeded with. I was successful to actually come back to Ilorin, you understand, to serve. But even going back to University of Ilorin to serve, even though I didn't stay in the University of Ilorin, I was posted to a school very far from Ilorin, but it was still around Kwara State, Nigeria. So even though I went back, because of course, who were my customers, who were my clients? They were what? They were my own classmates. They were people in other departments that were in my own level, 400 level, 300 level. So when I was to go back, I didn't really meet any of them again because all of them today have gone their separate ways. A lot of people have left. So the business was struggling basically. So from there, I was able to learn the big lesson that I shouldn't have just been focused on selling to students. I shouldn't have just been focused on selling to, you understand, people in my immediate locality. Rather, I was to diversify, set up, you understand, things, chains of, you understand, customers from all walks of life and in different locations, right? So I learned from that big lesson. The next physical business I started after the shoemaking was the A.O.S Academy I was talking about, where I was training people because as I was a scholar, the thing was still fresh. The book was still, that's at then, now it's not more fresh. As at then, the book linguistics that I studied, because I graduated with bachelor's of arts in linguistics from University of Ilorin. So the book was still there, the head was still going on. You understand? A few way was still part of the that time. So I set up my academy where I was training people. I was, you understand, taking tutorials, linguistic tutorials to 300 level students, 400 levels, even 200 level students. You understand? After some time, I added languages. I was training people on English because I studied French. You understand? In Nigerian French language village, Badagry. So I was training people on French. You understand? So I'm teaching people how to actually, you understand, improve on their English. At the point when I learned about Canada immigration as well, I started training people on IELTS. You understand, writing IELTS, because the first IELTS I wrote, I made it, I had band 8.0. So I said, okay, let me add this to the business. I started with IELTS, went into CELPIP. At the point too, I started teaching French, you understand, for preparation for TEF Canada, for TCF Canada, because I too also took my own examination. So in all, what I'm trying to say is I had my own fair share of physical businesses. But the truth about it is, even the shoemaking and bag making business I started and the academy I started, the both of them could not, and I repeat, the both of them could not make money for me as much as the online businesses that I started after them were making. Do you understand? Who want to give you 1 million to make a shoe? Who want to give you 500,000 to actually teach them English? Is it that difficult? I mean, to teach them French. Is it that, you understand? So what I'm trying to say in essence is I had to learn from the physical businesses I was doing. And that is why I do tell people too, even if you are a job seeker, even if you are looking for caregiver job, you are looking for any job in Canada, learn from the mistakes or learn from the challenges you faced whilst you were what? Whilst you were looking for physical jobs in your home country, in your current location. Do you understand? I learned from it and I saw that, oh, the stress that it takes to actually set up a physical business and to maintain that physical business is more than the stress it takes to actually set up and maintain an online business. The person I told you that I said is in Nigeria that actually set up a business in Canada, he's still in Canada, he's still in Nigeria. He has not left Nigeria. Imagine if he was to set up a physical business in Canada. It would be so difficult for him because he is not here physically. Do you understand? And how much does he even have? Say someone that has not even finished immigration will not be spending money on business. But he was able to set up a digital marketing agency from Nigeria in Canada. And at least he has been making some sizable amount of thousands of dollars through that, or hundreds of dollars. Now the question is, you too, if you are someone that is business savvy, what can you do from where you are currently, you understand, to actually make money? Because now the idea he is using is very simple. He says he wants to make money. The money he makes from setting up his business in Canada, the money he makes from actually helping Canadians, he would actually plow that money that he's using to actually, you understand, work on his own immigration. And basically, again, that is what my published book, Funding Your Move Abroad, is all about. You can actually, if you don't have money, you are complaining that, okay, some people even chat me, they'll say, they were scammed before, they were this before, they were that before. And I do tell them, nobody will do immigration for you for free. You understand? Even if you are to do it yourself, DIY, you are to do immigration for yourself, like you are to go through the process, the entire process yourself without paying someone. You would also pay immigration. You will pay Canada. I mean, you will pay IELTS or British Council or MOD Australia, or you will pay WES, World Education Services, for your educational credential assessment. You would have to still, you understand, incur some costs. So whether you like it or not, either you are working and you are earning a salary to actually use to afford those processes, or you have a business that you are doing that is making you some money in order to use to what? To set up or to actually work on your own immigration or your family's immigration. So, okay, Angel Debbie 22255 is asking, working in Canada or established? I don't understand what you are saying. Is this a question or a comment? Working in Canada or established? Who are you talking about? Is it you? Are you working in Canada or are you established? Or I don't know. Maybe you can explain what you mean by that. Now, in essence, when it comes to you moving to Canada, okay, Angel Debbie 255 is asking, working in Canada or established yourself, which is better? Oh, okay, you are asking the question, which is better? Is it working in Canada or establishing oneself? And it depends on your risk factor. Let me put it that way. It depends on your risk factor. Some people are very much, they are risk takers, they are high risk takers. Do you understand? And I consider myself as one of them. Why is it that when I came into Canada, I didn't look for a job? You understand? I'm not the kind of person, because right from Nigeria, I, just like I said, I have started a business. And I'm someone that I like doing business, because the first experience I had, let me just put it that way. The first experience I had working for someone else in Nigeria as a French teacher, that time when I was still in 200 level in university, it annoyed me. It vexed me. I was annoyed because I was being exploited. Because that time I was given a job, an offer to actually teach GSS 1 to 3 French language. And in that school, the first money that they were giving me was 7,000 naira to teach GS 1 to 3. But because I was so passionate about teaching French that time, I tried to, you understand, inculcate and trained the students very well, and it was positive because even their parents, they were coming to school and appreciative of the fact that this their words, their students, their children were learning French, and they were learning a new language, a new foreign language. But I did not know that that thing will affect me because when the principal of the school saw that yes, the parents of JSS 1 to 3 were appreciative, they were liking the training and everything, he now had SS 1 to 3 for me. Now, okay, since they are training and they're enjoying the classes, that now I should also teach SS 1 to 3. Okay, Angel Debbie 255. Thank you for liking my life. Really appreciate that. And of course, our agreement before was I teach GSS 1 to 3 and you pay me 7,000. That time in school, it was big money. I said, okay, now that you have added SS 1 to 3, it is just logical that you had 7,000. Abi, maybe, please, am I making sense? If I'm making sense, put it on the chat section. It was just logical that, okay, since you have added something that was not in the agreement before, which was teaching students from SS1 to 3, and if you know Unilorin, or you know Ilorin, especially those secondary schools, you know that some of them can have GSS1A, GSS1B. So in fact, marking assignments, last one that I give students is sometimes I have to call my friends from university to come and help me mark, and I'll have to feed them, I'll have to appreciate them. So it was not something easy. So he added SS1 to 3, and I was expecting that, okay, now that you added SS1 to 3, add to my money. He said, no, you cannot add. It was like play first. You understand? 14,000 was what I was expecting from him. He said, no, I still 7,000. I said, okay, you understand, let's compromise to be equal. Pay me 10,000. He said, no, 10,000 is much. How much are the students even paying? I said, okay. So at the end of the day, even at that 200 level that time, I had sense small. I said, Tom, no problem, it's exam time. Exam time come like this. I do exam I coordinate exam to now mark exam and to give students results. That's why I did not go to school. He was not calling me. Okay, thank you, Debbie. Enjoy that. He said, yes, you are making sense. Really appreciate. He was not calling me. I know answer. Oh, Nana Zulai, thank you. He said, yes, your salary was supposed to be increased. It was supposed to, normally, because the contract was different from what I was doing. And SS1 to 3 was not a child's play. He didn't increase it. So basically, that was my own experience for training. I finally had to leave the school. You understand? Because I was not feeling it. How can I be stressing myself and not even transport to go from the school to my house was like 2,000 already. To now pay people to also help me mark my friends, even though they were not really collecting salary, it was just like normal money for biscuit. You understand that kind of thing? But I was already spending more than half of the money, about 5,000 already. And you now say you now want to even add other students. It was not cutting. It was as if I was slaving away myself. So as a result of that, that was my own first experience. So back to your question, Angel Debbie 255. For me, when I was coming to Canada, because I have heard on the news that yes, so it is difficult to get job in Canada. Yes, so if you even want to get job, you cannot just easily get the job that you were doing in Nigeria. You cannot just get like English teacher job or French. I mean that I did not even have license before to practice as a teacher. I didn't have license. I just had my bachelor's of arts in linguistics. You understand, degree. I didn't have a license. So, and in Canada, you know, many things that we do in Nigeria, especially in Africa. In Africa, a lot of things just you do. National Youth Service Corps that is run by the Nigerian government. They took me to a school. They said I should be an English teacher and a French teacher. You understand? But in first world countries like Canada, you cannot just be a teacher without having a license. You understand? You have to have a license by even a province before you can. If you go to another province to go and work, you may have to get the license of the second province before you are allowed to work. Even though you have the license of maybe like Ontario and you go to Quebec, you have to have the license of Quebec. You understand? But in Nigeria, there are a lot of things that just go on like that country. God just help us. We have a long way to go. You understand? So I couldn't have gotten a job as a teacher if I said I wanted to work in Canada, because I had to first of all go back to school And after going back to school, I have to get my license because, as I said, I studied Bachelor's of Arts in Linguistics. And to get a license in Canada, you have to have an education certificate at least. So either you have an NCE, National Certificate of Education from Nigeria, or you have a diploma. You understand, like OND, Ordinary National Diploma in Education, or Higher National Diploma in Education, or even Postgraduate Diploma in Education. When I was coming to Canada, do you understand? And I didn't have the bachelor's, I didn't have the master's in education. My next best option was to go and study postgraduate diploma in education. You understand? And with that, once I studied that for 1 year, after that 1 year, that is when I'll now apply to get a license. I'll have to take the exams and everything. So at the end of the day, all those stress, I didn't have patience for it. You understand? I didn't have patience for it. I'm giving you the background to your question so that you understand one of the reasons why I did what I did and why I feel it's a risk, but you have to now look at the risk, because going back to school when I was coming to Canada, even the money itself is not small thing. The money to go back to school, the cheapest postgraduate diploma I was able to get was like 7,000 Canadian dollars, 10,000. That was roughly like 10 million already. Even though yes, there were ways you could get so-called grants and loans, you understand. But I was just early. I was just coming fresh to the country. So taking on debt was not something that I was willing to actually involve in. Even the grant that I wanted to get, it was not up to the amount for me to actually study. And of course, if you are studying again, you may have to be going to school and you may not have time to work again. Or even if you have time to work, you may work part-time and not full-time. And you understand, there were a lot of things that I had to actually factor in, basically. So when I was coming, I was looking at it, I was weighing my options. People that were getting jobs, many people will come into Canada, say before they get job, maybe like 2 months, 3 months, and you have to pay bills. Rent is there for you to pay. You have to pay light bill, you have to pay phone bill, and everything. For me, just like I'm saying, my own scenario, I didn't want to start from rock bottom and start looking for job. After looking for job, and some jobs, either you go and work in McDonald's if you don't want to be a teacher immediately, or you don't want to go to school, you work in McDonald's, or you go to maybe factory, you're gonna be doing box shop, or you do all this Uber and everything. All those things, that time I didn't have time for those things. You understand? I didn't have time. I was not willing to actually do all those things. So for me, all I just did that time was the business that I had already started in Nigeria, the business that I was already known for in Nigeria, the business that basically helped me to come into Canada, was what I just continued with. So I established my own self, and I remember I came in around May 2023. Around June 2023, I had already actually set up my business. I had already registered, and that was when I was telling people, I was telling you guys on this live session that I set up my business with Ontario Business Registry, Canada, with just $60. That was roughly like 60,000 naira or 57,000 naira at that time. You understand? I used that money to set up my own business. I registered as a sole proprietor, and as they say, the rest is history. From that, I was able to show that I was registered in Canada. I was able to use that to start marketing myself, to start showing people that yes, I'm in Canada. I've succeeded in immigrating. I've also been a language teacher. I've also helped people prepare for exams they are passed. I used my own, how would I call it, my own testimonials, my client reviews. Myself, of course, I was a testimony for myself. But in line with being a testimonial for myself, other people that have come into Canada by virtue of, you understand, the services we rendered for them, I gathered them up into a webinar form. And I can remember the same webinar that I started, or that I used in 2023, is still that same webinar. God is wonderful. It's still that same webinar that I'm still using to make money. Do you understand? In the year 2025. And that is the power of is the power of establishing yourself in business. Is the power. Because if you don't work for McDonald's, you cannot be collecting after 2 years. You can't be collecting money from the burger that you have flipped in 2023 or the parcel that you have delivered in 2023. You can't be, they cannot give you, it can't happen. It can't happen. Oh, Angel Debbie said, wow. Yeah, it can't happen. You can't, the company you work for when you landed, especially when you have left the company, cannot still continue paying you money after you have left the company, or maybe after years. They can't. Do you understand? And that is why, for me, establishing myself was the best thing I could have ever done when I came into Canada. Establishing my businesses. And the beauty of it is, I've been in Canada for close to 2 years right now. In 2023, I set up a business, which was A.O.S Abroad, which many people are joining us from. In 2024, I set up another business. Many people don't even know about that business because more or less it is a side business, just like side gig or side job that people always do. I set up another business. Do you understand? In fact, just to say it, the business I set up was a marketing agency because I've done my own and it has been successful. So I set up a marketing agency together with that person that I said that I actually helped to set up a business in Nigeria. You understand? So he is working on the business, he's doing the business, and I am getting a cut from the business. I'm getting, because I'm a kind of partner to his business, even though I'm more of a sleeping partner. I don't really do a lot of the things in the business. He does his own business. And any cut that I am to get, I'm getting the cut for the business. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? That was in the year 2024. This year, 2025, the books that I have been publishing, I have about 12 books on Amazon. Do you understand? And I've been making money from the US, the UK, Canada, other places. Do you understand? And now we are actually taking it a step further, because before I was just selling books. Now, a step further for those that are on our website, aosacademy.com. For many people that have been seeing my successes of the books that I've been publishing, one of the books that we are talking about today, which is Funding Your Move Abroad, is now a bestseller on Amazon. You understand? And these are things you can verify yourself. People are saying that, yes, I am succeeding in that line. And now I am setting up another business in Canada right now, in this year 2025, to actually train people on how to write books, how to market books, how to publish books, and how to sell books. You understand? So basically, for me, establishing my own business was one of the best things that could have happened to me. The question is, you two now, what do you have? Are you someone that would like to set up business? Do you know the businesses you want to do, or you are willing to actually start up something? Or are you like the other masses, the masses that are looking for jobs? There's nothing wrong with looking for jobs. I do tell people, just like I say, some of the people that I work with who are my employees, if they not look for a job, how will I get them to work for me? It's practical, right? So they need to look for jobs so that I get them employed for my own business. It's a practical thing. So if you want to work, of course you can work in a business, you can work for someone. And if you want to also set up a business, you can also set up a business. It depends on because everything has risk. I won't lie to you. It was not all rosy, and it's still not all rosy. Setting up a business, you have to battle with a lot of challenges. Do you understand? Just like, of course, having to work for someone, you also have some challenges you face. So you now have to choose your own battles. Which one do you want to fight? All right. So Angel Debbie 225 is asking again, if I come to Canada, you will assist me. Well, again, we do always tell people, just like I've been saying in this live session, you want to be assisted, but what have you done to assist yourself? One, what have you done to help the person that wants to assist you? Because this is one of the things that I've learned so much in the year 2024 that just went. You have to understand that nothing is free in this life. Even Canada itself, that is helping people to migrate, is not free at the end of the day. You pay something to the Canadian government, like in form of taxes and things like that. There's nothing entirely free. Do you understand? So you have to understand that if you are looking for assistance, what are you two also willing to do? Do you understand? What are you also willing to give? I talked about volunteerism when we first started. People looking for a job, have they volunteered? One of the persons that I'm working with is because he volunteered, and I saw that this person is an asset. And now we're working with the person. So what can you do? Do you understand? So Nana Zula is saying, can I have your number, please? Well, I don't share my own number physically because there are a lot of reasons why I don't do that. But the best way to reach out to me is to actually click on the link on the live session or on my profile, or book a consultation. Once you book a consultation, you will have access to the number of my virtual assistants, and of course, anytime I'm available, we'll be able to actually talk. Do you understand? We'll be able to talk. So book a consultation if you want to talk to me personally as well. Book a consultation. I've also shared you that link. So if you book a consultation through the link, there's a link that I'm sharing right now. That link would actually take you directly to my consultation, what they call it, page, and you'll be able to book a consultation. And anytime you want us to talk, we can, of course, use that seller.com talk with AOS link to actually converse. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. You're welcome. So, Angel Debbie 255 is also saying, I would like to set up a business. Good. Setting up a business nowadays, when it comes to online business, well, you didn't even say if it is online, so I cannot really say about yours. If it is physical, like the person that I talked about that wants to set up a kind of export and import business, you can look into someone that is already in that field and can actually guide you through that process. I am not into the import and export, and truthfully, I don't even want to be in that industry. It's not an industry that I feel I can spend my time in. I don't really like anything physical. I think I've learned from my own experiences. I don't want something physical. Do you understand? But if you want something online, do you understand? Even on my website, aosacademy.com, aosacademy.com, there's a business mentorship program that I have also set up for many people. I think the last session where I was talking about micromentor.org, someone asked right that time too that can they be a mentee? And I said, yes, of course. On micromentor.org, I shared the link and I said that on that platform, I mentor people. You understand? At least I've mentored over 90 different people on that from 12 different countries. And yes, I can always mentor you on that micromentor.org. Mentorship is free, but if you want a much more physical, or rather private or one-on-one mentorship, you can go on aosacademy.com, and we can actually assist you on that through that website, aosacademy.com. Okay, so Angel Debbie is still saying you have to, because I would like to communicate with you. No problem. Of course. Just like I said, I've shared you the links for, if you can see the link on, okay, let me just pin the link. So seller.com/talk with AOS1. You can actually use that link to communicate with me, and of course we can always talk anytime you're available. Okay, so that being said, funding your move abroad. We're talking about the book, funding your move abroad. That book that I wrote, it explains to you how to plan well for your immigration, how you can make money for your immigration, whether you make money in your country or anywhere you are staying right now to come to Canada, and even make money after, because I've had the experience of making money before coming and making money whilst I am inside Canada, whilst I have finally migrated. So you can use some of those ideas that I wrote in the book to actually make money inside Canada when you finally migrate successfully to Canada. So okay, Angel Debbie said at least your WhatsApp. We see. I don't give people WhatsApp numbers. The best way you can reach out is to actually book a consultation. Just like I said, once you book a consultation, you would have access to a number. Just like I've said, my virtual assistant will give you access to that number, and you can always reach out through that particular number. That's the best way you can reach out. So just book a consultation, and that would um, that would really help you with any issues or anything you want. Okay, so thank you very much. We have really taken so much time. This is 1 hour plus already. I hope we have been able to talk and trash out a lot about what people want to know about when it comes to business, when it comes to foreign jobs, because people have been asking about how to get jobs, and I'll be sharing these links with a lot of people. And People have been talking about languages too, and Canada immigration. So I think with this, you can have much more understanding of what you could do, either to get a job or to start up a business. So okay, Debbie is saying, how do I book it? Okay, I've shared the link. The link is on this platform. Let me just let me pin it again. I've pinned it, seller.com/talk with AOS one. Or of course, you can also go on our profile. On our profile, the A.O.S Abroad profile, there's also the aos.name.ng link. Any which one. Um, this seller.com just goes directly to the consultation session. So you can use that to once you click the link, you'll be able to, or just write it out. You'll be able to actually book the consultation session. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I really do appreciate. Thank you for always joining. Really appreciate. I see some people like Nana Zulai. She has been joining our live and she also joined today. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I don't take it for granted. So if you have any questions again, you can always put it on the comment section. And anytime I'm free, um, my virtual assistant can also respond to it. If you want to reach out to us, I've sent the links on that platform. You can always reach out or even go on our profile, you understand, at A.O.S Abroad, and through the profile you can always reach out to us. There are various ways that we have added on the website for you to reach out. So really do appreciate everyone, and don't forget, every time, at least once a week, we always have live sessions. You understand, at least once a week. So you can always join the subsequent live sessions if you found this very helpful, and we would really appreciate to have you once again. So thank you very much, everyone. Oh, Nanazula, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Really appreciate. So have a nice day, everyone. Bye for now. Au revoir, my French people. À tout à l'heure. Bye bye. Bye for now. Hey, man. Oh, I put. Where's your charger?